And our first one is a receiver presentation from Monterey Peninsula Unified School District Superintendent, Mr. PK Diffenbaugh, to provide an update of the progress of student achievement and other issues in MPUSD school.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, Mr. City Manager. It's always great to be in the city of Seaside. Tonight I was at Highland where they were performing the Jungle Book to a packed house. And it was a great event to see the kids really take pride in their performance. And want to mention that I'm not here alone. I have my senior staff here. We have teachers in the audience, as well as our principals. And of course, we have our board president, Dr. Lusk, here. So this is a report about the district, about our team and our work. So want to talk about the progress of our schools, particularly around the local control accountability plan. So the governor's new funding formula, the LCFF, local control funding formula, requires that each district create an accountability plan and give regular updates on that plan to the public. So I've been to city council meetings and will continue to update the public. Just real quickly, at a glance, this is our student population, about 10,000 students, 17 schools. We have about 64% socioeconomic disadvantage, a high percentage of English learners, as well as students who have recently been redesignated fluent English. In terms of our breakdown, we have a very diverse student body. Over 50% of our students are Hispanic or Latino, but a variety of different ethnicities are represented in our schools. A background of the local control accountability plan really is around 8 state priorities that the state has given to schools, but it is up to the districts to develop their plan that meets their local needs. But in particular, each plan must explicitly say how they will benefit English learners, socioeconomic disadvantaged students, and foster youth. There's more funds. It's a weighted funded formula, so more funds go to districts that have a higher percentage of those students. So I want to go over and give you a quick update on how we're doing. So our first board goal is to improve student outcomes for all students and eliminate performance gaps. And we set some goals about measurable outcomes. And these just weren't just picked out of thin air. This is based on research that suggests predictive measures of future college and career success. So kindergarten readiness, 3rd grade reading, 5th grade math, performance in passage rates of 8th and 9th grade, AP enrollment, etc. All are predictors of whether a student will be ready for college and career when they graduate. So you can see on the blue is is last year and red is this year. So in terms of our participation in kindergarten, it is way up, and we'll continue to track and monitor the scores. Our 3rd grade reading for the first quarter are exceeding our goal, as well as exceeding last year, as well as in our subgroups. And similarly around 5th grade math, you see positive scores. 8th grade course passing rate, you can see again an increase from last year, although still short of our goal. So what this allows us to do as we're tracking students who are struggling is to provide targeted interventions so the principals know who those students are, why they're struggling, and hopefully can provide the support to get the passage rates up. 9th grade, you can see again, we have either close to or meeting most of our goals for 9th grade passage rates in math and in English, although we still have obviously some work to do with some of our subgroup populations. AP and AVID, this data suggests we have some improvement to do, particularly around AP enrollment. So you can see that we are short of our goal in terms of district-wide, as well as our subgroups of African American socioeconomic disadvantaged. And RFEP is redesignated English proficient. So students who were once English learners who are now English proficient. It's important to keep track to make sure they're making progress. And we need to increase access to the advanced placement classes for all our students. And one way to do that is through a program called AVID, Advanced via Individual Determination. And so this year we set a enrollment for a baseline to continue to track progress towards increasing the amount of students who have access to AVID, which is really a targeted program to get students who historically would not be on a path to college to be on a path. Attendance and suspension rates. You'll see that our attendance rate is actually slightly lower than our goal, but our goal is 97.5%, which is a pretty high goal. Usually it's around 94% statewide. And you can see that this data, we're actually very proud through our positive behavior intervention and supports. We've seen a reduction in suspensions for all students, for African American students, as well as socioeconomic disadvantaged students, English learners, and special education. So the climate at our sites are positive, and we're making improvements in those areas. We have other board goals. Goal 2 is to recruit, develop, and retain diverse, high-quality staff. Goal 3, to provide high-quality learning environments for all students. And Goal 4, to maintain fiscal solvency and align resources to improve student performance. I could go to matrix for all those goals because we have them, but I know that I'm not the main event tonight, so I will conclude and just say that we will be, again, hoping to visit in the spring to give you updates on how we're doing. We're also doing a community engagement meeting for our development of our 16-17 LCAP in February, and then ongoing throughout the year till we develop our next year's plan. So with that, I will stop and take any questions.
Right. Well, thank you. And you are the main event. Our kids are the main event. So you're right on time. Let's start on this side. Any questions?
Thank you. Mostly comments. It's great you set what seem to be very high goals. If you don't always meet them, but strive for them, I really appreciate that. The suspension rates here are just incredible. I'm really glad that you're bringing down the suspension rates. While truancy is a problem, I see suspension as almost a forced truancy. It's kind of a counter. It doesn't make sense. I really appreciate that and all the hard work you're putting into this.
Thank
the board
you.
as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Just some comments as well. I have to commend the district for, looking at students individually and finding other avenues of success. I can only speak for Seaside High where I teach, but we're able to look and see where students are at this point of the quarter, the semester, and create other avenues. Especially with Common Core, sometimes the expectation is coming at a higher level of performance. And if that's not happening, we find another avenue for success. Also, I just want to commend the district for the ROP programs. They're expanding. They're becoming more, just more in depth and expanding, and that's great news for our students. I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
Just 3 or 4 points, and just commend the school district. I had the opportunity to go to the middle school, Seaside Middle School open house, and the focus on college and the people that you brought in to speak, not you, but the principal brought in to speak about they can go to college. I think that was very impressive, and the attendance and the enthusiasm was positive. I have a chance to go to the school district meetings about once a month, and the energy from 2 years ago to now and the cooperative effort is just a dynamic change, and I think it's through the leadership of the new staff and the new education process. And then I'm a fan of social media, and I believe you're doing the social media, and it's it's really nice to go through the social media and see something positive and successful, and what people are doing to make a difference in their child's lives. And I think that's to me very, very positive, and a cooperative effort, so people can be educated as far as the future of our country and our cities. And then lastly, the open playgrounds. I know you set a policy for the playgrounds to be open after school and on weekends, and I think that's going to be positive down the road for our kids to have opportunity to play. Those are just very much appreciated in your efforts and your staff's efforts and the leadership's efforts. Very much grateful for it.
Thank you.
Just want to say thank you, PK, for being down here in your presentation. For me, like what the mayor said about kids, they are the center of what we do down here, particularly for me, living across the street from school, you know. But I want to say I think the board did an excellent job by hiring you. We can see the difference that you have made in the district itself, and we stand ready to help you and the board move our kids forward from that to that career.
Thank you.
And that goes for me as well. I really want to thank you for being responsive. I know I asked you when you first got here, you got to come to City Council and talk to us and let us know what's going on. And you came and you continue to come, and that's really important, not only for us because we get to hear it, but the broader community understands that MPUSG is engaged with the community, and you're doing a great job. Just keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and we're just getting started. You know, our vision is to be one of the finest public school systems in the country, and we know that that's a lofty vision, but we are developing a team, and we're going to keep working on behalf of our students and families till we get there. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.